Despite his actions in Midgard, Atreus does still care for you.
I know. I raised a son, too. It may be hard to believe, but he was quite similar to Atreus at this age. He adored his father, always wanted to do right by him, and was constantly frustrated that no matter what he did, he never seemed to get his approval. He confided in me a lot, sought the comfort his father withheld. I wonder if your son could benefit from that too.
He has befriended the other dwarf. The blue one's brother.
Oh. Well, if Sindri has that covered, I suppose there's no need for me in his life anymore, is there?
That is not what I meant.
That was sarcasm. I wish things had gone differently. But these Sather are at rest now. Looks like that worked. What did you find?
Anything illuminating?
You got something for me, don't ya?
Business time.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Helga's been itching to get her ball back all dang winter. It's her favorite hole.
What?
Now, if you could find the rest of my armor set I left out there, I'll repair it for you. Free of charge, even. Oh, actually, any dwarf can. I just didn't think you'd get my orb for me if you knew that. Sorry, y'all.
Good thing you were so cautious, brother.
Quiet.
He's right, Mimir. Show respect. The squeaky toy could have been the death of us all.
Family
really
trysts.
Do not
I'll
laugh.
take 'em.
It's hard not to, brother.
Try.
Okay. Okay.
Let's do it. That'll mess some folks up. Hope you're feeling violent. That'll put some hurt on them. About time I had something to do. Wait, feels like there was something else.
And how is it you two know each other?
Nah, I can't be divulging guild business. You gotta respect the secretude of it all.
I'm sorry?
Let's just say Brock and I have long enjoyed certain common interests.
That's right. Like getting us into trouble.
And getting you back out of it again.
What? Huh. That's only mostly true.
Okay, so does that answer your question?
Close enough, I suppose.
So, Brock, if Lunda can step between realms to travel about like you, I presume it must be the guild you know each other from.
Maybe. Or maybe I just showed her a few tricks while we were tying one on.
Or maybe I showed him. You don't know us, Clever Pants.
Lunda, would you happen to know how your light and dark elf friends came to be involved?
You mean Baitfair and Bala? Well, they were both imprisoned by one side or another, or maybe both. Escaped together, been on the run, and absolutely all over each other ever since.
A dark and light elf fleeing their people together. Quite a risk.
Being in love's always a risk. That's what makes it fun.
You could say the same about hot cheese.
Lunda, what do you know of Birger the Traveler?
Not much. I ain't the talking type, really. But from what I can glean, he walked the path of the traveler for a time, then found out something that made him step off it. Hard.
Any idea what he saw?
No, I'm not sure, but I think he saw what was at the end of the path. And, didn't care much for it.
Finding out Odin was pulling their strings all along probably put a colossal kink in his codpiece.
Hey, Freya! How you doing?
I'm fine.
On that, madam, we are agreed.
What? Oh. Oh, thank you?
Anytime.
Ha! Lunda, you ain't changed one damn bit.
Astrid's garden. The wilds reclaimed it. It was beautiful once.
Come here. What did you mean when you said Frey was not exactly a guest of the Aesir?
I meant by the time they burned it, he'd been a prisoner for some time. It was a mob of lesser Aesir, bitter and short-sighted, who tied him up and lit him aflame as punishment for the sabotage they imagined him guilty of. Obviously, he survived. In fact, he used the opportunity to escape. But such an affront made war inevitable.
Freyr certainly wasn't the same after that. At least for a while.
I will just stop there for now.
We've revealed the inside of that building. Can you see anything valuable in there? The gate's open. We can head back and get inside.
Kratos! It will pass!
The creatures weren't always this ravenous. The ecosystem is out of balance.
Can you see if there's a way inside while you're up there?
Learn anything?
Life returns to the garden. Hi.
This mentions a spell that puts trolls to sleep, and a magic relic that acts as a sort of counterspell.
All is desolation, a fitting fate.
Astrid. No. This garden still aches. There must be more poison somewhere.
Incoming! Above you!
That was the last of the poison. Despite everything, the garden survives. Because of us.
Looks like more armor for Lunda to fix up.
The last of them.
Nothing can grow from scorched soil. No hope can
Spirit.
spring. Freya, you returned.
Astrid, what happened to you? To your garden?
The anger, my life's work rotted. My monument to your glory reduced to this. I am sorry, my queen.
You need never apologize to me, old friend.
I swore to keep this garden in bloom until you return. To live forever amongst its putrescence. A just punishment.
Well, that's lucky. We already destroyed all the totems poisoning our garden.
Yes, your garden grows again.
Freya, how did you...
It's okay, Astrid. It's time to move on.
Thank you, goddess. I do love you.
And I you.
You've done a great kindness.
A temporary one. The garden will die again.
All things... That is no reason not to try.
Freya, you were speaking of your brother after he was burned by the Aesir mob.
Yes. It haunted him for a long time. His carefree ways were replaced with nightmares, paranoia, and lashing out. It doesn't excuse what he said at my wedding, but I do understand where his anger came from.
Freya! There's something I've always wanted to ask. What was it Hrimthur whispered to you?
Who?
Hrimthur, the son of Thormur, the stonemason, who disguised himself and built Asgard's wall.
Oh, yes. One of the many occasions Odin saw fit to involve me in a wager without my consent. I wish I could say that was the worst of his husbandly habits.
What wager?
I've told this story, brother.
And now she may tell her own.
There isn't that much to tell. I knew nothing of it at first, surely because Odin didn't expect to lose the bet. A mysterious mason had to build the entire wall in 3 turns of the season.
2! It was 2!
And if he was late, he'd be owed nothing. But if he succeeded, he was promised an audience with the queen. Or so I learned one day when Odin burst into our bedchambers, raging and half-drunk before noon, telling me to get dressed and go see what the mason wants. So, off I went, not knowing what had truly been promised or expected, dagger stashed in my robe for emergency. And this mason, this giant in disguise,
His name was Hrimthur!
he just smiled to see me. And as you said, he whispered in my ear. He said the Aesir had killed his father, and he needed to know that one day they'd burn for it. I pointed out I was Aesir now too, technically. He gave me a look, as if he somehow knew better, and continued. He said he'd built in a structural flaw behind the Asgard Realm Tower.
I knew it! How do we make use of it?
We don't. He said Surtur would know what to do. And if Surtur's approaching Asgard's wall...
Then it is already Ragnarok.
Aye, blast it. I hoped it might have given us another way. Come on, brother. Let's have it. You mentioned you had a favorite poem from your homeland. What was it about?
A cunning general. A war over forbidden love.
I believe I've heard of this one. Did it involve a horse that was not as it appeared?
Yes. But that is not what happened.
Oh, it's based on truth then. And you were there.
Yeah. I prefer the poem.
Is it done?
It is done.
Your friends are at peace.
Good.
And... I'm sorry. Had I been here, I would have prevented this.
Do you think us lost babes, incapable of making our own choices?
No, but...
We made a mistake. But it was ours to make. Not yours to prevent. Even if you had been here.
Yes, you're right. Goodbye, Gunhild.
Goodbye, my goddess.
Kratos. Thank you for taking the time to help my people.
I helped no one. They were already dead.
Oh. But you did. You put their spirits at ease, and that has eased my spirit as well. I feel lifted.
Enjoy it. It will not last.
You're right. There are most certainly other corrupted sisters out in the realms.
You always know how to end on a cheery note, brother.
That Lunda's armor? Hand it over. I can fix it up right quick. Sure, I'm open. Let's make something then. And now for the goddess. Need something special? Now don't let anyone tell you I can't handle delicate work. Can't see. You know what you want? That'll keep your bits in all the right places.
A good fit.
Now don't go get yourself killed, hear me?
Very well.
Are we off to find that elven sanctum then, or something else?
We certainly can. Though we do have something else that needs our attention. We found a Hofgufer out in the Barrens, my lady. In terrible pain. We freed it, but there's another intern somewhere beneath the Forbidden Sands.
A Hofgufa? I haven't seen one since I was a child.
And what else? There's still that secret elven library in Alfheim.
Lead the way.
That armor looks like Lunda's design. I can fix it up for you if you like. How can I help? Huh. That might be my best piece yet today. Gonna keep it spatter-free this time, right? Kratos?
It fits.
Take care of your armor, and it'll take care of you.
Mimir, I never asked how it felt to lose your head.
What would you have me say? That it tickled?
Merely curious.
If you wish to derive some satisfaction from my pain, I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. Kratos swung swift and true, didn't you, brother? I felt nary a scratch.
Shame.
Freya, I've always wondered, why was Freyr so revered here so quickly upon his first arrival?
Well, to begin with, it wasn't his first arrival. Very few know this, but Freyr was one of the earliest visitors to Alfheim, back in the dawn of realm travel.
Oh? A bit before my time. Do tell.
We believed for a long time that all the giants had died in the flood, until one of them appeared in Vanaheim. Her name was Gerd, and she came offering to teach us the secrets of traveling between realms using Bifrost light. Freyr became immediately infatuated with her. He always yearned to wander, and along came someone who could truly show him how. So, wander they did, exploring the world tree from root to branch. But one day, it came time for Gerd to wander away. Freyr was heartbroken, and resolved himself to perform some great feat to win her back. He set his aim on the grandest of gestures. He intended to be the first to find the elusive source of Bifrost light. And he succeeded, although quite by accident. Freyr believed he navigated best while fortified by a potent blend of Vanir herbs. When he wandered, he wandered. And he managed to wander from the World Tree directly into the Lake of Souls. The elves had never seen anybody come out of the lake before, so it got some attention.
Oh, that is bloody hilarious.
I don't know whether he worked his charms at that point or they just assumed him to be a great deity. But of course, he hadn't made this journey in search of responsibility, so he didn't stick around long.
Wait. Let us look this way.
Much of the sand has been cleared away, but another storm rages beyond that pass, which must mean...
Another half-goofer.
Mecking. I remember when Freyr and I traveled to this realm as children. The desert was healthy and full of life back then. I can't help but fear that era has ended for good and our efforts here are futile.
It's a fair concern. Healing this land will take more than a pair of singing half-goofer. But I have to believe, in the long run, we're doing right by Alfheim. Well, best we start looking for a way underground.
Keep a lookout for a cave! I see an entrance!
I hope Freyr will appreciate our work here in the desert. I wonder if he knows how poorly this realm has fared in his absence.
Aye. Hearing the Song of the Sands again is a rare privilege, even if it's only a solo act.
Or a duet, once this Hofgufa is free. This architecture, it is not of the Dark Elves.
An abandoned ancient settlement, by the looks of it. Built long before the Lightwell's creation.
More hive matter as well.
I'd say we're on the right track then.
This kind of hive material is sensitive to sound. How odd. When I last came here with you and Atreus, I assumed the absence of Alfheim's light was an aberration. I didn't realize it was caused by hive.
Aye. And as far as the Dark Elves are concerned, it's that light column in the center of the temple that's the aberration. Just look at how old some of these surfaces are. Far older than the Lightwell, or even our trapped Hafgifa for that matter.
That's quite the empathetic perspective, Mimir.
Well, dangle from a burly god's backside for a few winters, and you'll find yourself looking for all sorts of new perspectives.
Well, there you go.
Enemies to your left! Good riddance!
Nicely done.
Enemy behind you, Kratos! Incoming back here! The Alpha! Behind you, look out!
Light elves don't often travel underneath the barrens, do they?
Territory changes hands often in Nalfheim, or so it appears.
Big Veer did mention that these ruins have historical significance for the Light Elves. I assume they're only here to keep intruders out.
Well, at least they tried.
I suspect the corpse below would disagree. Good eye. Let's continue, shall we? Behind you! Poison! Above you! Watch out!
I hope freeing these Hofgufas will allow them to breed again. It was a dazzling display once. The skies of Alfheim filled with their song.
I imagine it's the lack of fresh light that's caused this pair to grow abnormally large. No use in having babies if there's nothing for them to feed on.
Trying to protect their children from a harsh world. I can relate.
Go!